Good day, and welcome to another episode of AgentX11 Hollywood Dark Journalist. Another light in this darkened world. I am your host, Penny L.A. Shepherd, and I am Agent X11. My co-hosts are David Zublik, Heather Day, Joan Renee, Chris Montgomery, Skip Press, Tom Althouse, Jessica Garza, Edward Medallion, Dr. Keith Abloh, and TJ Ward.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are tonight's entertainment.
Agent X11 Hollywood Dark Journalist begins now. And welcome to another episode of Agent X11 Hollywood Dark Journalist. We're missing someone. Here we go.
How could you misplace me? Look how big I am.
I'm sorry, I lost you for a moment. It's the My Two
Just put him in the corner. He'll be fine.
It's the My Two Brian Show. My name is Penny L.A. Shepherd. I am Agent X11. I am joined by my co-hosts Joan Renee and Katie Bradley, and then the two Brians. This is actually Brian Singh's segment. Brian Singh Presents, and then we also have Sir Brian Bowden joining us. Right, the two Brians. And we're going to have a forum today, and we're going to discuss something that's on everyone's mind, which is the assassination of Charlie Kirk. We also discussed today, we did 2 hours of news on this, and we also discussed, have you guys seen the movie Snake Eyes?
Just the snippet you showed this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Have you seen it, Sir Brian?
Nope,
No?
not yet.
Okay, Snake Eyes is about, it's with Nicolas Cage.
Yes.
And it's
That's
about,
important because there's two Snake Eyes. So the one with Nicolas Cage.
right. And I'll read you a little bit about it, just in case you haven't heard any of the conspiratorial theories involving it. I need to bring in my PowerPoint, which I haven't brought in, but I did watch it when it came out in 1998. So Charlie Kirk was born in 93, meaning that he was 5 years old when this movie came out. We talk about predictive programming. Let's just see, 1998. And okay, so it's about a detective, Rick Santoro, who's played by Nicolas Cage, never played by the rule, when he attends a high-profile boxing match with his friend, Navy Commander Kevin Dune, Gary Sinise, as well as the Defense Secretary, and they just put it, they say Kirkland. Okay, this is in the preview. So let me look at the wiki because his name isn't just Kirkland. Snake Eyes is a 1998 American mystery thriller film directed and produced by Brian De Palma. The film stars Nicolas Cage as a detective investigating a political assassination at a boxing match in Atlantic City, with supporting roles played by Gary Sinise, Carla Gugino, John Hurd, Stan Shaw, which Shaw is actually used in The Manchurian Candidate, Kevin Dunn, Joel Fabani, Louis Guzman. De Palma also devised a story with David Kopp, who was the sole writer of the screenplay. And this is the plot. The night of a tropical storm, which they're alleging was September 10th. I have to go back and make sure and take a look at it. Corrupt and flamboyant Atlantic City police detective Rick Santoro attends a boxing match at the soon-to-close local arena between heavyweight champion Lincoln Tyler. Did anybody catch it on so far? Okay, he's known as the Executioner. Right? Tyler, the Executioner. Meets up with his best friend since childhood, U.S. Navy Commander Kevin Dunn, who's working with the Department of Defense. By the way, Erica Kirk's mom worked with the DOD. To escort Defense Secretary Charlie Kirkland. Charlie's name was Charles James Kirk, like yep. Captain Kirk. And Director Gilbert Power at the flight after a trip to Norfolk, Virginia. After the first round begins, Kevin is distracted by an attractive redhead named Serena who wears a ruby ring, leaves a seat, which is then taken by Julia Costello, and a mysterious woman in platinum blonde hair with a white satin suit. When Ruse unexpectedly knocks out Tyler because Tyler was the favorite to win, he took a fall. Gunshots ring out. Mortally wounded Kirkland, who is shot in the neck, grazing Julia, who loses her glasses and blonde wig, revealing her naturally dark hair. Kevin kills the sniper and orders the area to be locked down. Despite the lockdown, Julia escapes into the casino and covers her wounds in pieces of cloth. So they find out that this is a big conspiracy. So I'm going to bring in the video on this. And does anyone want to add to this, Katie?
No. I'll just watch. Yeah.
Seriously, you don't want to add anything?
It kind of speaks for itself if you know what's going on.
Well, the dyslexic in me read, let's see, what was it? Despite the lockdown, Julia escapes into the casino, covers her wounds in pieces of cloth from her blouse, and steals a black satin jacket. And I actually, because I'm dyslexic, when I first read it, I read a black Satan jacket to disguise herself. So
okay, so I'm gonna bring that in, and then I have another one which is from Ryan Matta, who Ryan Matta worked with J.J. Carroll. I suggested to J.J. that he do a documentary. He did one with Ryan Matta called "This Is Treason," and Ryan Matta is he's not a great friend, but I'm acquainted with him, and he's acquainted with me.
I'm on TV. Hi, Rick Santoro. Hello, Richard Santoro. I'm Ricky! And I am the king! Pepperoni, sausage, Canadian bacon. Listen, why don't you just get the deluxe and save time, all right? Look, I got business. Call me back in 5. There he is! There's the man whose life I want!
And now, the distinguished Secretary of Defense.
Great idea. Put a flashing light on your head while you're at it.
Well, why are you so uptight? It's fight night!
Running security tonight. I got a lot on my mind.
Watch carefully.
That seem right to you?
Kevin, that is right in so many ways.
No, I mean, beautiful woman alone at a fight?
A crime is about to be committed.
Now listen to me, Mr. Secretary. I am telling you, you're the one that's going to be sorry.
You will be a witness. And the hardest thing to spot will be the truth.
I'm a homicide detective and a material witness. You can't hold 14,000 people. There's 14,000 eyewitnesses!
We got 1,500 cameras. 800 on the casino side, 720 on the hotel side. What are you looking for?
There's a phantom punch! You sat down exactly when they wanted you to. They didn't miss him with that second shot. Missed you. I'm betting that the redhead you followed is the same person who told Tyler to throw the fight. She's 1. Shooter's 2. Tyler's 3. The drunk who shouted the signal's 4. Whoever was on the other end of that radio was 5. 5 people make a conspiracy, right?
It sounds like he's conducting a very dangerous investigation.
I'm not gonna let you kill her.
Please, Rick. You're all alone on this. The house wins.
Okay, now that's the movie that appeared when Charlie Kirk was 5. His dad also worked for, I think he helped build the Trump Tower. This was filmed in Atlantic City, and one of Trump's properties, part of it was filmed in one of Trump's properties in Atlantic City. Thoughts so far, anybody?
Well, on what got me is Tyler fakes the punch. So in other words, he throws the fight. So he really didn't do that. That really didn't happen. But the shot rings out at the same time that he throws the fight.
Right.
We have
Because
Tyler.
it's orchestrated. It's all planned, right?
It's all planned. They've identified 5 potential people involved.
The sync shot.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna put in 2 cents. So, I mean, this is a while ago. This movie came out,
1998.
and, right? And in relationship to what just took place with Charlie Kirk, they did have something called Project Looking Glass, and where you use 3 components to see the future, and you can kind of game the future. So they may have seen something in advance, and this is how they communicate to their partners what's coming and who the subject is. It's just an idea going on there, but we do have something called Operation Looking Glass.
I'm going to read a little bit more. So at the sound of the shots, okay, Rick is a detective, but he looks back. Oh, there's also a seeing eye thing. I'm going to play one more video. There's also an all-seeing eye that sees everything. They've got all these cameras so they can see these things. We have cameras involved in this thing as well. But the detective notices that the knocked out Tyler awoke instantly at the sound of the shots. He's told in advance to take a dive. So he realizes that the knockout punch didn't even connect. And then Tyler eventually confuses that he threw the fight in order to pay gambling debts, but he was never told anyone would be killed. He reveals that gets revealed that Serena, the redhead who tricked Kevin, who is the Rick's friend, the military guy, into leaving his post, paid him to take a dive. So Kevin pays Tyler to take a dive. No one suspects that Kevin is even involved in this. So he pays Tyler, Serena, and the sniper. And then Rick is suspecting a conspiracy. So he reveals everything he knows to Kevin, who then confesses that the trip to Norfolk was to test the Air Guard missile defense system, which Powell's company was backing. Now, we found out today that Jessica's mom is involved in a company in Arizona that
Erica Kirk.
Yes, her mom is involved with the DOD, but also in a company that tests EMPs. Okay, she works with DOD. So this is about the Kevin. The reason why this guy was killed, right? He confesses that the trip was to test the Air Guard missile defense system, which Powell's company was backing. He deduces that the sniper is a known Palestinian terrorist named Tarak Ben Rabat. He says he assassinated Kirkland over the Pentagon's large-scale defense cooperation with and weapons system transfers to Israel. Also, the father worked with Raytheon in Israel, and he also worked on the Iron Dome.
Penny, can I jump in here?
Yes, please.
Because this is a huge exercise in discernment, and I'm not claiming to know which of the tracks, but I kind of break it down into 3 potential tracks. Okay. One, it was just a straight up assassination, and it's got a lot of echoes of a movie that took place 30 years earlier, 28, whatever. Coinkydink. Okay. 2 is more along the lines of what Brian is saying, is that, okay, there's some kind of looking glass technology to see the future and perhaps influence the future. And then Hollywood, which is part of the Illuminati and the mafia, Khazarian mafia, they did this movie to do some kind of predictive programming and occult seeding. And in doing so, they're trying to make an event happen by quantum entangling and locking people on through some kind of mass interlock with a movie, and then making a similar situation manifest in reality. Okay, so that's like the middle road. And then the third one is and that second one is, this is all 100% orchestrated, then using time travel, the works. And then the third path is kind of more in between, where it was the film had psychic echoes of what really happened, but it wasn't planted there by Operation Looking Glass people to predictively program something. It was more the author or the people who wrote that movie, maybe they quantum entangled with the assassination that just happened, and then that got written into their movie, and then now it looks like a coincidence, but you know what I mean? So the cause and effect, is it the movie caused it to happen, or it happened and then that caused the movie to then happen beforehand, right? Because time is not linear. But I kind of run it along those 3 main tracks are the possibilities, and then it might be a combination or mix up of any of those 3, right? It's just a coinkydink, it's kind of a coinkydink, or it's no coinkydink, it's 100% orchestrated. And then I think that's kind of where all my analysis then goes, well, which track is it? And then I take all the evidence and data, and it's such obviously an emotionally infused and charged and so fresh of an event that even questioning it, even being here now questioning this, there are a lot of people who are going to, on both the right and the left, right? The left is, we're just going to say we're right wing crazy conspiracy theorists. And then there are even going to be people on the right wing who are like, hey guys, just give it a rest already. The man's dead. Let him and let the wife and family grieve. Right.
Yes.
And so there's this whole spectrum. And I mean, if anything, it stirred up a lot of loosh and emotion. And, then there are people saying, well, it's a psyop. Okay, well, why would it be a psyop? It would be, now as we look at the 3 different tracks, okay, let's go with, it's a psyop track. Okay. Well, then you got to look at, all the levels of coordination and all the anomalies. And there are anomalies. And so this is where I'm like 50-50. It was just a real plain Jane assassination. Yeah, it was. And even then, how plain Jane an assassination? Is it a disgruntled lefty activist who has a trans boyfriend named Tyler Woodward or whatever, who shot Charlie Kirk from 200 meters away, right in the neck? Or was it Charlie Kirk was shot, but it was Mossad agents who were in the crowd? They set up Tyler to be a fall guy, and then they shot Charlie Kirk in the neck. Or, even the third one is, it wasn't Tyler Woodard who shot Charlie Kirk in the neck. It wasn't Mossad who shot Charlie Kirk in the neck. It was a white hat operation to fake shooting Charlie Kirk in the neck. Right. So then there, that's where he's not dead. So that's a fourth possibility, is it's an operation to fake his death.
right,
Okay.
to get him out of the line of fire and keep him safe. But I was just using Operation Looking Glass as it does exist. It's been
Right.
used. Trump,
100%.
the reason why Trump has been so spot on, even when he wasn't president, everything he said they're going to do X, Y, and Z, and X, Y, and Z happened, is because he knew it. They planned everything. The problem that the left and the right didn't plan for is the people waking up and saying we're not going to take this crap anymore. And that's what they're not, they tried to circumvent that because they want the control, but it's we're done with the control. We the people have had enough. But when I saw what took place, and I listened to Charlie Kirk, I thought he was, what I loved about him is he got these kids that we're all winners, everybody gets a trophy, pat you on the back, to start thinking like, well, wait a minute. And that's dangerous because this is the most dangerous weapon anybody has. It's called thought and thinking against the system that's trying to control you. And they couldn't have that. It wasn't about a Christian thing, or whatever. It was think before you speak, get really educated. You're being lied to. And he got a lot of kids to start thinking, which is, I loved. But from go, that was a professional assassination. That was not a kid. I don't care how long he's been shooting.
And here's why this whole conversation is very important. We spent the last I think it was like 11 or 12 days ago. The assassination happened. Let's see, happened on the 10th. So this is the 25th. Okay. On the show, the first show we did was honoring Charlie Kirk. And I did not want any conspiratorial theories. I wanted to honor this man for what he means and still means. And I believe he's reignited a Christian revival within the world. We saw the outpouring of love for this man. And as the time goes on and more information comes out, I've interviewed Craig Sawyer, who is a professional sniper. I've talked to a lot of different people to ask, what do you think about this? There are so many different conspiracy theories out there. So Joan Renee sent me a video, which I kept saying he was not wearing body armor. That was an important point of contingency for me. That was step one. He was not wearing, because of the allegations. He's not dead.
But didn't they say he was wearing a bulletproof vest underneath his T-shirt?
He was not. Okay.
Somebody said that, but
they said it. But
yes, that's what I'm saying. That was my very first point that I wanted to make. I've asked snipers. I've asked people that are in the industry that's their career. And my husband was a police officer. He wore a vest almost every day. So I have a video. I'll have to load it. I don't know if we'll have time for it, where you can see that this is a sniper giving his analysis, who is wearing a lapel mic just like Charlie was, and he's wearing the earpiece, and he shows it as to where it is. He shows it underneath his pants, how it's wrapped around, and then you see it because there was a lot of pontification about the shirt being raised, etc.
But when you say it, what are you talking about? Like a blood packet?
No, there is no blood packet.
Yeah, when you see
when you see the
event something
of him being shot, okay, the impact of him being shot, okay, when you see this impact of him being shot, the shirt, because I sat through like 20 minutes of some guy talking about, look, the F disappears, da 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 da. We've watched the video like the Zapruder film over and over and over again, and everyone's trying to analyze it. So I just wanted to make one clear assessment regarding this, because I didn't know, and there were allegations that he wasn't dead, okay, and that there were blood packets underneath. There weren't. It was the cord to his lapel mic, which upon impact he went backwards. Now Stu Peters says that the lapel mic was like the golden pagers, and the lapel mic was the thing that did it. However, the lapel mic still is standing after that. It's not fragmented or anything, but There's a lot of other weird things that go on, like two guys jumping over and having a handoff. I don't know what that's about. But my only point was to prove that he was not wearing a vest. And he was indeed not wearing a vest. And the sniper concurs with me because you can see his nipples. Now,
Yeah.
unless they invented a vest that has nipples on it, maybe it's a girly vest. We need to put nipples on it for a girly vest. I don't know. I'm saying he was not wearing a vest. So that was just one little point I wanted to make.
Okay. And someone in the audience, Urso Supersov, is saying, now, where did the round go? Disintegrated? Bullets, you got like the whole round is like your bullet casing with the explosive charge, and then you've got your actual bullet, the metal tip. Those metal tips, when they hit even like, I guess, a human body, they can disintegrate and get fragmented and split up. So, if the bullet, quote unquote, disappears, I don't think that in itself is that weird. I just wanted to address the whole, where did the bullet go?
Yeah, so we addressed
And,
that today with
to
Craig
add,
Sawyer.
can I add to that for a second?
Yes, please.
It doesn't have to be a parabellum. It could be a round ball, and it could be designed with materials that once it gets liquid on it will disintegrate. So it's really, the lapel thing is very interesting given what took place in the Middle East not that long ago.
Yes,
Right.
yes, that's what
You
Stu
don't
Peter
need that
said.
much
It was
explosives.
like a golden pager.
Right. You can pack a microphone with a round ball and literally you need just a small scoop of stuff to put it in there, and it would have enough force to shoot. And if it's right here, it's going to shoot, especially if you have it hooked up so that it's back into the chest cavity, it would go off on this side, right? And then it looked like it ricocheted off of the collarbone and shot up. So it's really, it may have been designed to go into the heart and then, kill him that way, but it's really plausible. And it was really interesting to see what they were talking about the explosives and the electronics. This whole thing has more holes than Swiss cheese.
I know.
And
That's the problem because,
yeah.
we had Rima, Dr. Rima Lebo on, who was married to General Stubblebine, who was involved in the psychic projects, Stargate. Yeah. And the men who stare at goats, that was the premise after her husband. So she was on last. And she was talking about, is this just a big operation to just tire us all out with 5,000 conspiracies, and everyone's fervently researching and trying to determine, is he alive, is he not alive? And then when the next event happens, we're just all, screw it, I'm tired, you've just worn me out. So she's a psychologist, or rather a psychiatrist, so that was her premise. And then when we have the snipers coming on trying to analyze the footage, is the pager thing possible? Yes. Do we know the truth? No, we don't. So the other component also is that Craig Sawyer, I sent him the Alex Jones video, in which initially, when everyone heard the magic bullet theory, that he had the neck of, he was a man of steel, right? That the bullet went in and it hit his neck, but it was so miraculous that his neck was so strong that it thwarted the bullet, and that's why we didn't have an exit, just an entry wound. And everyone's like, what the H? That's just not, what is that? Man of Steel, some more stuff we're supposed to swallow. And then Alex said he talked with the doctor. We still don't have an autopsy that's public. We still don't know what that bullet was. But he said he talked to the doctor, and the doctor explained it thusly, that it went in, but it was like it hit the bone and then it went down, severing the spinal column, landed it exploded the heart, which is why we saw that massive outflow of blood and no exit wound. Because then it fragmented. Yeah. This is what Jones says. Then it fragmented, and because we're told it hit his bone, his man of steel, and then a fragment of it was here in the shoulder. But he says it fragmented within the body after my brother David was murdered. Okay, he was murdered on Mission Beach by an assassin who bragged that he'd kill somebody with one strike. He did. He plunged a 6-inch knife into David in broad daylight on the beach. It severed his spinal column, and he died immediately. So the reports from all of those around Charlie were that he died immediately, and that when they carried him to the car, it was his vacant eyes staring at him. He was dead. There was no recovery. However, you hear more stuff that they tried to recover him in the hospital. Okay, I'm sorry, Brian.
Way too much blood coming up, but going back to
resuscitate there. Yeah.
Going back to the impacted lapel microphone. You don't have to just put one little BB in there. You can put several, and it's designed like a spray of a shotgun. Now,
so,
I
Brian,
don't know.
Brian, are you leaning towards then that theory, or you
that was?
50-50?
I mean, that's something really recent. And I'm like, okay, we've seen it in action, what they can do, and given the fact that given what Charlie was saying, not about Israel, but more the Zionist side of it, and I mean, there's, when people talk about Israel, there's two parts of it. There's a Zionist side, and then there's Jews, Christians, Muslims cohabitating. It's two separate entities, but they put it under Israel. And he was, I mean, I saw some of the videos prior, like he was really, going at the Zionists. And they don't like when you have dissension against them. So this is why, I mean, then we had the plane take off and leave. But what I'm saying is also another thing is if you have a bulletproof vest or level 4, 3A, 4, vest, it doesn't cover your neck like this. It goes to your collarbone.
Yeah.
And it's just below. So if he has his lapel mic closer here, that thing going off or someone taking a shot, that vest is for someone straight on. Someone at an angle, that's not going to help you. And if it does, the lapel mic goes off and something hits the heart and then it ricochets off the collarbone, which would be exposed. I mean, that's a little bit more reality than anything else. And why would you do this? Well, you have dissension between the left side and, the trans people and whatever, all this craziness that the left has, propagated. You have the right side, which is filled with not only just Christians, but I'm going to say Americans, we the people. I want my Constitution back. That has sit back and said, okay, let them have their speech, but has had enough at this point because all this man did was say, under Christian values, which some may or may not share, think. And he was too close. He was turning people from the left side away, making them think. He was looking for a bid, possibly governor, congressman, senator, and possibly presidential. We can't have this.
Yes,
because I want to read spoken out against the governor.
Everything the left side has been doing. I'm just saying one more thing. Everything the left side has been doing since they've been in the last 60 years is moving away from God, throwing God out of the equation and bringing in the devil, Lucifer, Satan, Moloch, the whole thing. They don't want God. They're trying to force God's hand. Bad idea. God doesn't like that.
Penny, do you want to mention George's take on it?
Not yet. I want to mention Ginny Robinson, which that's her name, like Tyler Robinson, right? She posted this, and it has been a little bit more time. So now we're investigating all the sides because that's what we do. We don't just investigate one side; we investigate all the sides. Ginny says everyone not asking questions and seeking real answers is doing the opposite of what Charlie would have wanted. Keep going. God knows the FBI is lying to us. We all know too. Now I do have the Stu Peters cut describing what you're talking about. And this was given to me by Katie.
Didn't kill Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk's Israeli security detail killed Charlie Kirk, and Charlie Kirk's assassin is caught on tape. Blake Bednar has brought us this video. We'll break it down. Take a look at this. Here it is from the wide angle. Watch Charlie Kirk's right side of his t-shirt. Watch the lavalier lapel mic. Do you see it explode? Let's bring it in just a little bit closer. Watch this. Put it in a freeze frame. That is the explosion from Charlie Kirk's lavalier lapel mic.
What is that? I don't know.
Want to see it again? Bring it in closer. Remember when we told you that that was absolutely an exit wound? Yeah, it is. Check the trajectory of the round that was deployed from that lavalier lapel mic. That went directly from Charlie Kirk's lapel. That went directly from underneath Charlie Kirk's white t-shirt up through his neck and created the exit wound that we told you was an exit wound immediately when we saw that exit wound. First we had exploding pagers, now we have exploding mics. Do you remember the vector analysis from John Bray? That proves that all of the activity came from the mic that Charlie Kirk was wearing. Remember the palm gun guy in the brown shirt, that shadowy looking guy with the sunglasses? Yeah, he pushes the detonator. Clear as day.
Counting gang violence. Great.
That's the assassin. That's the guy that pushes the detonator, which perfectly aligns with the explosion that pushes that projectile through Charlie's right side of his neck and out the left side, creating the exit wound.
Well, that's interesting. What's that about?
That might just look like the chaos that you would expect after someone was publicly executed in broad daylight in front of 3,000 people. But in no way did that trigger man, that assassin in the brown shirt with the sunglasses, act alone. We have video now from Destiny that shows the handoff of this remote detonator.
Grabs something, probably the lavalier, does, puts it in his pocket. Guy in brown appears to give him the remote detonator. He then runs away with it.
That looks like the guy who ignite or pulled the trigger.
Yep. I mean, this is the closest I've seen to
go ahead.
more legitimate.
I mean, you could pause that back when they're all behind here and even go through other theories too. Did he go through the trap door?
We had John Cullen on the program last week, and he made a great point about ballistic acoustics being altered to hide the location of the real shooter. Well, the same can be said to distract from the fact that there was no shooter. Tyler Robinson did not kill Charlie Kirk. This guy, brown shirt guy, he's the assassin.
Oh, way. If you want security, the Israelis know what they're doing.
You know,
so
again,
go ahead.
with the you know, this guy's setting it off, and it's looking. I mean, this is why I'm like, okay, this is real more plausible. You're not just setting off the lapel microphone. You could be setting off something above on that roof, you know, and inside a bullet, and let that go off. And now you have a spent round because there's only one of them. And you know, when Tyler eventually shows up after the fact, someone gives him the gun, and maybe he is the Manchurian candidate, you know, like, you know, Ultra, he's going to be the guy that's going to be the pigeon, you know, Oswald, and he has no clue about it, but his timestamps now that he was at Dairy Queen. I mean, look, the bottom line is, at this point, the people running the country in the Middle East don't give a damn, and they will take out as many people as they want if you speak up against them.
Now, when we're talking about the Middle East, are we talking also about the people pushing the new world order? Because it seems like that all goes together somehow. You know, there's 1,000 points of light, new world order, Middle East, and then Rima. Rima found this document on the Canadian government site that outlines a trajectory of all of these things that could happen and how long it takes you know, that conspiracies, like after 3 years, people cannot tell what's true and what it's not. After 4 years, cyber attacks disable critical infrastructure. After 5 years, billionaires run the world. Downward social mobility is the norm. In 6 years, emergency response is overwhelmed. Artificial intelligence runs the world, and healthcare systems collapse, and democratic system breaks down. And then in 7 years, biodiversity is lost and ecosystems collapse. In 8 years, vital natural resources are scarce. And that's in their that's in the document. These are the potentials. It's the top 10 disruptions, those that have the highest combined likelihood and impact. They are mapped on a timeline according to when the disruption could occur. So what I was wondering when she showed that is this part of the disruption to confuse us to where you know, we don't know what's right and what's wrong because there's so many different false clues, we can't figure it out.
I don't believe so. I don't believe the NWO has it. They're on the way out. I think this is a good and evil thing, holy war. And they're utilizing whatever they can. They shot their wad with COVID. They jumped the gun, and people now are not. You lost the trust of the authorities. You cannot trust the science anymore. You cannot trust the historical record. You can't trust any of that stuff. People are waking up to it. I think what this was designed to do is to finally get the people on the right that have been reserved saying, hey, they have a right to speak, so pissed off that they started a civil conflict so you can bring the military in, then disarm the U.S. And once the U.S. is disarmed, we're all done. There is no other country like the U.S. We are the linchpin between freedom and worshiping a head of lettuce. And you need to disarm us first. But it's not going to happen. Nobody that is practicing their Second Amendment right is going to go gently in that dark night. No. They're going to snipe their way through it.
Okay. I'd like to ask Brian Singh to comment. Brian, what are your thoughts on all this?
Well, seeing that lapel mic thing, I mean, that and that person who potentially hit the detonator on his arm with a remote, I mean, that is pretty wild. You know, I when Brian Bowden here referenced the Israeli pagers, I believe the way that they set those up was it was like a pager, like maybe like a little Nokia pager with 2 AA batteries, and one of the AA batteries or AAA batteries, I think it was replaced with a charge of C4. Okay, so it's a dummy battery. So maybe, you know, in that lavalier mic, maybe it might be large enough to do one where you could implant an explosive charge about the size of a AAA battery in it, and that's possible. And then that footage is pretty wild. Other outliers we've talked about the Tyler guy, Robinson guy, who's supposedly the shooter. We can also talk about how there's like that trap door right there underneath where Charlie was sitting, at least in that area, and then how in that quad, like the very next day, you know, it's a crime scene. They switched out the grass and began putting these paving stones all over it, and so that is highly irregular. Yeah, right. So there are a lot of irregularities, and so it's just such a huge head scratcher. I mean, for me, I'm still, you know, Schrodinger's cat. You know, was it the Mossad or was it, you know, a white hat operation? You know, I don't know. Like, you know, depends. It's I know it's one or the other. It's something, but I'm so confused. I am having a hard time still. I admit that.
Well, you know, Brian, it may not be one versus the other. It may have been the white hats, like they're going to take him out. He's a good guy. We've got to set something up. And they did that purposely. They let him go through the thing. You know, the trap door, he is now sequestered away. He can still do what he's doing even if his wife's the head of Turning Point, the earpiece thing. I mean, even Obama said it. And then maybe this was done to actually show the world. Upon investigation, we find that X, Y, and Z is responsible for this. So it could be both. It's just very confusing, and it's getting very tiresome. That's the problem, and people are getting tired of it. We're not. What the world doesn't get is, look what's going on globally. Look what's going on in the UK, and look what we have had enough. So all these power people and these power brokers think they're going to control. We're not the sheeple. We are the people, and we're standing up now. And that table that they've been resting all their drinks on is going to the side. That's what I saw in my remote view. Everybody in this U.S., everybody 18 or older, was carrying a long rifle on their shoulder everywhere. I thought it was Israel. And the bottom consensus was, we're not taking your crap anymore. You do a crime, we're dispatching you right then and there. You're not going to court. We're not trusting your politicians, and everybody becomes above board. And that's how this country is supposed to be.
I'm going to say, find friends that you can trust, that you know will protect you. Brian Singh, I know you will protect me. I know that. So I trust you and love you, my friend. And Brian Bowden, I know if I was around you, you would protect me as well. And we need more men like the both of you within the confines of the United States. I'm just going to speak as a United States, as an American, a representative of America. And this is something that we're going to revisit again, because then we'll be armed, if you will excuse the pun, with more information, and we'll be able to discern a little bit more. I did extract this from George Webb and from other investigative journalists that we're acquainted with. We're going to have to end shortly. And also with Craig Sawyer. No one believes that this kid committed this murder. They don't believe the story. It's too ridiculous. And there are so many components. So we just showed one of many. There's another theory that the cameras behind it was a hologram and that Charlie wasn't really there. So our job is to investigate all of these disparate theories and to research further behind, like, the political motives that might motivate some people. I personally, if indeed Charlie Kirk is dead, which I believe he is dead, it's a travesty, and I think it was designed to instill fear in anyone who's speaking out in a public venue. And I've had people drop from the show because of that, because of what they're disclosing, and they've been warned and threatened for murder. Well, a lot of us have. I'm one. George Webb is one. Do we cease to exist and cease to do what we know we're supposed to be doing? No. We continue on to host whistleblowers and to do our best to get the information out there. And then the discernment, I'm going to say, is on you, the individual, to do more research and to be discerning about all of this information that's coming to you. We're going to have final closing comments. Brian Singh, how are you? And what's going on with your conferences?
Well, so we've been fighting a bank to release funds that were being gifted to the movement, and we apparently are in the process of getting the funds released from the bank that want to just basically hold everything forever and take away our money, and getting it into a bank which is going to be where we'll have more liquidity. And then with that, I'll be able to complete the purchase of the former Center for Creative Life here in Sedona, Arizona, an amazing conference space, and a couple other houses on the property. Yep, you got to see it now, Penny.
I've seen this.
And
it's amazing. I see the potential of some very good things. Apparently, Peter McCulloch spoke there. The people in Sedona are very spiritual people. A couple people came up when I was there and said, "Hey, has anybody bought this?" I said, "Well, I'm pretty sure my friend is buying it, and
It's in
and they
process.
want
It's
to see,
happening.
they want to see these spiritual endeavors occur. So I think this center is going to be a total hit and a boon for people that are looking for disclosure, which that is your Disclosure Now project, disclosure of all things hidden. And it's your mission is extremely important. I back you 100%. And I look forward to helping out any way that I can with that endeavor. Where can people find you if they want to get in touch with you?
Can either go to my website, fulldisclosure.live, or fulldisclosure.network. One features the conference series, and the other will be updated in the coming weeks as we launch our Full Disclosure Network online platform and have more news. But first, a lot of this is on hold until we get relocated here into Sedona properly, and that'll be in the coming 2 weeks or so.
Excellent. I love you, Bri. And I love you too, Bri. Bri, how are you
Thank
doing?
you.
Where can people find you?
Probably in Facebook jail or some social media site jail. I just because I think and I warn people of things coming. So don't stop thinking. Don't stop researching. Please don't believe everything you're seeing and hearing. Take it all in. Make your own assessment. Exercise your Second Amendment right. And don't just constitutional open carry. That is the stupidest thing in the world. Go take the course. Get your concealed carry. Exercise it. The Second Amendment guarantees every amendment.
I've got mine.
Yeah, I'm just telling people, let's make firearms great again, because we the people armed cannot be removed and cannot be silenced. There's a lot more of us than there is in the deep state and all the other politicians and people on the take. So that's all I'm saying.
Where can they find you?
Just go on Facebook. I'll be there.
No,
I haven't done my website. Third Eye Live Wednesdays, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern.
Okay.
Under my profile.
All right.
Thank you.
And Katie Bradley. Thank you. Katie Bradley.
Just where to find me, or can I say something?
We're almost out of time.
I just want to know that our veterans are ready to defend and ready. That would make me feel just great.
They are.
I'm not
Thank
armed.
you.
KBT143 on X.
Excellent. And Joan Renee, where can people find you?
Okay, one comment, and then where people can find me, and that is that while you're be aware, but live your life, because this is it's important to live your life every day and not let worry hijack that. And then you can find me here on AgentX11. You can find me on the Trauma Triage team on Wednesdays, the Awake Nation, and on X, Joan Renee 27.
And you can find me on the Wake Nation Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. However, in the time zone I'm in now, it's 1 a.m. to, I get up at 1 and we're off air at 7. Mm-hmm. And yeah, he's laughing because he knows. And I'm generally done. I'm passed out in bed by like 7:30 if I can, or if it's 9, then I get 4 hours of sleep. So don't be like Penny. No, actually be like me. And you can find me on X at Shepherd Out. And please like, share, and subscribe. That's how we're getting information out. The Full Disclosure Now project is about disclosing everything. And we 100% support it because we are about full disclosure. We don't, we're disseminating different conspiratorial theories and some things that are actual conspiratorial facts. So that's why we encourage you to research everything. Unfortunately, we are out of time. We are going to be replaying this. We're also being replayed on the Truth Be Told network, and we're replayed every Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. on that network. I'll give you more information later. Unfortunately, we're out of time, so we are out of here. Shepherd out.
Renee out.
Bradley out.
Ryan with the Y out.
Solar Bee out.
Goodbye for today from Agent X11, Hollywood Dark Journalist. We post new episodes daily. Check out our true crime episodes Wednesdays and Fridays. Please watch our main show, David Zubik's Awake Nation, on the David Zubik channel on Rumble. We are live Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern.